topics and opinions expressed on the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4WN Radio.
Welcome to my radio and TV show, Debi Changes Lives. I'm Debi, your certified holistic health coach. I revitalize people's lives by helping them identify the root causes of their health issues and create a custom, natural, holistic strategy to address them in the areas of mind, body, and soul. As a health coach, I'm not allowed to say I heal, treat, cure, prevent, or diagnose any diseases. I certainly can make your body more efficient by reducing symptoms. You'll feel better, be more productive, and enjoy life so much more. Did you know that intermittent fasting actually reduces inflammation, uplifts your mood, and repairs your cells? It does. And why does that? And it helps you get your cells humming and your body humming to boost your metabolism as well. It's rich with high quality nutrients and nutrition, and there's a program behind it with recipes and exercise. It's composed as a natural part of all my programs, and it can easily be done by itself. You can contact me for details on coaching on my link tree at my consultation button at https://www.debi changes lives live as in Victor es.com/linktree linkttree all in lowercase, and we will answer your questions. And also, you can use the email to email me that you want to purchase my #1 best-selling book, Women Rising. It's a collection of many women's transformational stories, including my own. It's a great book for someone struggling to see a light at the end of the tunnel. You can get a copy for $20 or a signed copy for $25. Once I get your email and payment, I'll send the book off to you. And summer is coming. You want to learn how to eat cleanly, that's toxic free, release weight with mindset coaching, then take advantage of Take Your Body Back. It is a 12-week weight release mindset coaching program that you get to create a new version of you in an avatar board. And the first session of the 12 is actually private because we're going through your health, take your measurements. We will also go through directions of one of the 2 meal plans that you can choose from and give you the directions on how to create that new version of yourself in an avatar board that'll drive you with emotion and passion to achieve your health and weight transformation. All sessions are identical, whether you're in group or individual programs. And the first one, we'll be celebrating your wins. And as well, we will look at your gaps where I gave you tips on health and mindset to get over those gaps. With my mindset coaching, I help you break your negative patterns and foster good habits. And with the group coaching, it's so much fun because everyone's going to have camaraderie and you'll be learning from each other. Individual and group coaching programs are cost differently. And you can see on my previous show, Holistic Self-Care, some details on my show button. And as well as you can contact me on my consultation button to ask me questions. As a certified holistic health coach, I help you tune into yourself so that you are aware of what you need to optimize and maintain your health. During these times, finding a new job can be stressful, and it's important for you to tune down that stress so that you can find that perfect job. And sometimes a spiritual guide will help you to tune yourself so that you will succeed in finding that perfect new job and career you desire. Today, I have Amanda Slade, an evolution and spiritual catalyst, who will show you how to shift out of the third dimension of fear, separation, and competition to the vibration of the fifth dimension of love, co-creation, and unification that will also help you shift and yourself with others as well within the world. Discover why and how now. Amanda Slade's soul got fired as being a successful VP of Marketing and Sales at a New York publishing firm for 20 years. She did not have a plan B. She took a journey to discover herself and found that she is an evolution and spiritual catalyst and a creator of the Diamond Co-Creative System, which offers soul-aligned possibilities and soul solutions so that you can thrive and prosper in life and business. Since 2001, Amanda has shared the woo factor in grounded, practical ways to facilitate energetic healing, transformation, and spiritual growth with thousands of clients internationally, traveling as far as Australia. She is also a #1 best-selling author, speaks on podcasts, telesummits, and spiritual and business events. As a developer of the Diamond Co-Creative System and the accreditation with a system, a 12th dimensional technology based on sacred geometry, she has 23 years providing energetic healing, transformation, and spirituality that has profound, lasting results. We'll be discussing, it's all about vibrations to manifest your life and business that you desire. So let's welcome Amanda Slade, the evolutional spiritual catalyst from Co-Create Your Success. Amanda, welcome for being on my show today.
Hey, welcome. Thank you. Thank you, Debbie. I so appreciate you inviting me, and it's really good to be here.
Oh, that's wonderful. Let's get going with the questions. So, what are the paradigms and energetics of the third and fourth dimensions?
So it's really interesting. People might wonder why it's so important with that, right? Well, if you think of the third dimensional paradigm, which most of us grew up in, we were in more of a reactor and reactive mode, kind of like on automatic pilot, because we were conditioned and programmed through fear, through codependency, through separation and competition. And we got stuck in the past, or we were projecting out in the future. We were living in the shoulds of what we should do, right? Or the have-tos. And we actually learned through suffering, pain, and struggle. And the way the third dimension really shows up is you're probably in a lot of worry, doubt, fears of some sort. There might be a lack or scarcity, not enough in survival mode, that you're not enough, that you haven't done enough. There's a need to prove who you are. And also there's a need to control. And we're really seeing that shift happening right now. Power and control no longer serves any of us. And we're seeing the upheavals in the world, right?
Exactly.
And so what that leads to is usually a very unhappy, unfulfilled life in some way. Maybe you're successful up until a point, and then you hit a wall. And there's what we call an awakening. And that awakening really occurs in that fourth dimensional energy. And the fourth dimension energy is you become the observer and the witness. You realize that, there's more to life than this physical body, or that your physical manifestations, or, trying to get all the stuff that you want, materialistic and so on. You realize there's much more. And that part is more of a spiritual component. And I'm not talking religion. I'm talking spirituality. We're spiritual beings having a human experience. And the reason why we incarnate in the physical body is so that we can feel and experience when we're as a soul or as a spiritual being only, we don't have those feelings. So in the fourth dimension, with us realizing that there's more than this physical body, that there's a spiritual component, we usually have this spiritual awakening of some sort. And a lot of times that happens because someone lost a job, a relationship crashed and burned. It could be a health issue. It could be a financial issue, but something it happens to really get your attention, and that's your soul getting your attention. And
Exactly. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And we've all been through it, right? And, I've been fired, relationships haven't worked out, financial problems. We've all been through it in some way, a health crisis of some sort. But that spiritual awakening to get our attention is leading us into, there's a possibility of healing, of transformation, and of evolution into the more of who we truly are. And there's a development that you have with the divine. And the divine could be how you might term God, the universe, the divine, higher power, spirit guide, whatever that is for you. But that third and fourth, that fourth dimension becomes the bridge between the third and the fifth.
Okay. Yeah. To tell you the truth, I've been there. And I got to the point where I got fed up with something and said, I'm just going to, and what it was is starting this podcast. I'm fed up. I'm going to do this podcast now. And I actually released all that doubt that I had, which is part of that third dimension, right?
Right.
And I moved forward to do this podcast. And all of a sudden, my spirit, my intuition said, you're doing the right thing. And it's like the gate opened up, and I had so many different opportunities presented to me at that time. So it's really interesting how that happens.
Well, and if you're listening to your egoic mind, a lot of times it has that negative self-talk. It's where the self-sabotage happens. And what you just touched on, that intuition part, that knowingness, is that soul's essence, our soul's wisdom that's there for us, as well as when we're really connected within ourselves and with our spirit guide. We have a huge etheric team that is supporting us. So that's the divine, your spirit guide, some say angels, or maybe all of the above. But listening to that intuition, I mean, how many of us have this intuitive feeling or thought that, oh, I shouldn't go to that thing, or it's probably not a good idea to get involved with that person, or maybe that group, or you know what, I shouldn't take that, not shouldn't, but you're being guided not to take a job. When my soul got me fired, I sat out in the parking lots when I went to get interviewed. And because I had companies that wanted to hire me because I was very successful in what I did, but I was just sobbing in the parking lots. And because it's not what I wanted to do. I had no passion for it, but I also didn't know what I had the passion for, because I depleted myself. At that point, I was 40 years old, and all I had done was work. And, I flew around the country. I was working 80 hours a week. And it was intense. And so when I came home over the weekend, I would just crash and burn, right?
Yeah, I've done things like that too when I was younger, so I know how you feel. But I was working like 60 to 70 hours, not quite 80.
Yeah. Well, with all the travel and all that, it ended up being about 80 hours a week, 70, 80. But it was intense. But for me, that was my awakening, and prior to that, actually 3 years prior to my soul getting me fired out of corporate, was I had started a journey in embarking back on my spiritual journey, and also energetic healing, learning about that. And this is all dealing with energy. So when we're talking that third dimensional energy, that's really dense, low frequency energy. Fourth dimension, you start feeling relief. You feel a sense of hope and possibilities. So then when we get into the fifth dimension and why that's important, the fifth dimension is all fueled through high frequency energies of love, of joy, of peace, of passion, of prosperity. And in the fifth dimension, you're actually the creator and generator of your life. You are manifesting what you truly want. Remember, we're always manifesting, but is it what we really want? And so in the fifth dimension, you're connected at that soul level to the divine part of you and connected to the universe. So what's being created is soul aligned possibilities and solutions. So fifth dimension doesn't mean that you won't have challenges, because challenges actually lead us to growth, lead us to learning about something more, right?
Yes.
And it's actually helping us with our evolution. But in the fifth dimension, we learn through joy. And here's an acronym. Everyone, get your pieces of paper out. Joy, journey, onward, yielding. Journey, onward, yielding. And what it is that you're always on a journey. You're, and it is, energy is always moving forward. So it's onward, but the yielding into what's there for you, what's the possibilities, what's the more for you, yielding into the next level of yourself, of your life, of your business, for those that are in business or even in your career. So that yielding part it allows for when you're going into the yielding that you're not attached to what you think the result should be, right? It should be, right? Attached. And right, that four little word, should. And what happens too with in the fifth dimension, you're actually in flow, you're in synchronicity, and you're allowing for the universe to co-create with you and weave together what's in your highest order and fullest potential. You know, just last week, I had gotten really clear on saying no to a couple of things. And, you know, it was to a program, to a conference, and it was like, no, that is not where my soul wants me to go. So I was in the fifth dimension on that, right? It's like I could feel that energy was, if I were to say yes, and listen, most of us grew up saying yes when we wanted to say no, right?
Yeah, because we're people pleasers, right?
Exactly. And that's the codependency where we were trying to fit in. We wanted to be liked, approved of, validated, loved. So we sacrificed ourselves, but that's third dimension, right?
Yes, it
so
is.
In the fifth dimension, for me being willing to say, no, that's not in alignment for you. It was so amazing because I said no to this one conference. And it was, I wanted to sell the ticket that I already purchased for it, and it could be transferred in the matter of 5 minutes, where I was saying yes to another conference and I had to move stuff around, but I got, no, this is a yes, right? Within 5 minutes of that, I had someone come over and say, hey, I want to buy your ticket to this other conference. So I paid for that conference. So that was the flow, the synchronicity. The universe knew what was in my highest order to do, and everything else that needed to fall into place for me to go to this other conference fell into place within 24, 48 hours.
Wow.
So when you're operating, creating, and living in the fifth dimension, that's how easy things can be. And we move from making it happen to co-creating it happen. Because remember, The making it happen is effort, right?
Yes.
It's trying to push through something. It's forcing something.
Yes.
And when you're the creator generator, you don't have to do it that way.
Oh, that's interesting. I recently wrote a blog post about vibrations and the levels of vibrations that we're talking about today. So people can actually go to my website and see the different levels of emotions in that vibration chart that I created. But it's interesting that making it happen is force. It is force energy. But when you just let everything come to you, that's flow. And when you're in the flow, you really know when you're in the flow. And it's a lot more pleasant, obviously, because you're not worn out.
Yeah, it's more pleasant. It's more fun. And here's the other thing, flow. Freely living within your own wisdom. Freely living within your own wisdom. So when you're, yeah, so yeah, we're the queen of that. It's like love. Everyone talks about love. What does that really mean? So finally, an acronym came in. Love, living only vibrant energy. So if it doesn't feel good, if you aren't energized by it and you feel vibrant to it, then that is something that you want to not do or you want to shift, right?
Yeah, and I felt something that wasn't right for me, and I decided this is not right. But it's interesting, when you tank your energy, you go down the vibrational energy, you just don't feel good, and you're not as productive as you can be. And it's the same idea that when you're stressed, you're overloading your system, and your body system is going to have so much inflammation and things going on that it doesn't know what to do with.
Right.
You'll feel so much healthier when you're in the right vibration. And that's, so I do help people release entanglements from the past, like I said before, and I do my mindset coaching. But I'm not like you. Maybe I'm like a junior you, but not quite there yet.
Well, and the energetic part is super important, and you just brought up the body. If you are holding on to stagnant emotions that don't serve you, and such as the fear, the sadness, all of that, those are lower vibrational energies, right?
Right.
But most of us weren't taught to express our feelings. We were actually told to stuff our feelings.
Yes.
And that includes anger and upset and so on. But we can express those in healthy ways. And we, instead of holding on to anger or upset or regrets or resentment, which then really compromises the physical body as well as our emotional state of being and our mental body. It's our thoughts and beliefs that are created from that. When we have that stagnant energy, then it will create problems in the physical body.
Yes,
and like some of the work that I do, and it sounds like that you're doing as well, is helping to release that so that the physical body isn't holding on to that dense energy or that stagnant energy. And if it holds on to it, it will create illness. It will create stress. It will create dis-ease. And something that I'm really prompted to share right now is that if many of you are feeling tired right now, and if you're feeling like you can't be the ever ready bunny like you used to,
like me,
and it has nothing to do with age. I just want you to know this.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with
age. We are in this major shift from the third to the fourth to the fifth. Well, the physical body has to have rest in order to make these shifts, in order to integrate the shifts. Because you can't go from this to this without it having time to integrate the new frequencies. And when you go into higher frequencies, the physical body shifts, and it's at a cellular structure that it shifts. And you want it to shift because when you change your thoughts, change your beliefs, change your feelings, it's changing the neuroplasticity, and which changes your habits. Mm-hmm. So it's so important to do your healing work at an energetic level, because it's not a mind construct. So it has to be both healing the emotions, which is energy emotion, which can be stuck, or they can be flowing. Mm-hmm. And it's also shifting the mind construct, the thoughts and the beliefs, like what you're saying, have a different mindset, but those all go together. If they don't go together, then you're only going to get it from a mind level, and then it's not coming into the body in the feeling tone, and then it's not vibrating out in a way that you want it to vibrate. You're still vibrating, but what frequency are you vibrating out into the world?
Yes. So, being in the mind is too analytical, right?
Right. Yeah.
So you need to be more in the heart, or maybe I think your core, for me.
Well, it's a combination of both. It's not an either or, because either or is third dimensional.
Okay.
It's having the heart and the mind, because the heart is the feminine energy, the mind is the masculine energy. You have to have both to manifest.
Yes.
And so it's actually weaving the two together. And how I like to look at it is, imagine weaving an infinity sign that connects at your third eye or your crown, your mind, and then comes down over your throat and into your heart. And when you connect them like that, now what you're able to do is connect the heart and mind and fully express through the throat chakra the soul alignment, your soul expression through your personality self, versus just being in the egoic mind, or even being in the wounded heart. So if you're expressing through your wounded heart or your egoic mind, it's not going to be in alignment from a soul level, and it's not going to be in the higher frequencies, right?
No, it's not.
Yeah.
No, but sometimes for me, I put my hand on my core, and I breathe.
Well, explain what you mean by core, because they can't see you. So do you mean your
down here by the stomach, by the by
the solar plexus?
Yeah. So I put my hand on my core, and I do deep diaphragmatic breathing to help me relax. And I do a set of 10, and then I start, thinking about things I want to. I love gratitude, things I'm, so happy that what happened that day, because it just brings you up at a higher frequency.
Yeah.
And then, if I'm asking for things, that's after that I ask for, guidance and wisdom and things like that. So it's, it's important to pay attention to what your body is telling you, whether even, like you said, you're mental, but you also want to pay attention, not to pay attention to judgment and a lot of analytical. You just want to pay attention to what your body is telling you. And you'll find that over time, your brain is not going to be sending you so many thoughts and things. It kind of eases and slows down, and which has happened for me, which I'm so thrilled about. Yeah. So, I mean, don't you agree on that? I mean, because, supposedly women actually have 85,000 thoughts a day.
Right.
Men have 65,000. But I'm not paying attention to those thoughts as much.
Right. Well, Yeah, it's being really attuned to how you're feeling, what you're
Mhm.
thinking, right? It's
Yeah,
both.
exactly.
And so if you feel like your energy is depleted or is drained, or you just feel really tired or really stressed and all of that, it's important to go within and find out what the source of that is.
Exactly.
Is it something within yourself, that you need to address? It can happen even when you're with people. There's maybe certain people that drain you, deplete you when you're having conversations with them or being around them. So
Exactly.
being really aware, like I talk about the 5 A's. It's awareness, acknowledge what you're feeling or thinking,
Mhm.
um, accept it, and don't fight against it, but accept it, but then take action with it.
Mhm.
Take the action steps to rectify or to transform what you're feeling, unless you want to stay in that energy. There are people that like to stay in their stories, like to stay in their victimhood, like to stay in crisis mode, like to stay in chaos and drama because they get energy that way. But again, that energy is fleeting. It's not
Yeah.
sustainable.
It's
So
fiercely.
when
Yeah.
you go within and find out, okay, this is what's really going on for me. And it's important, especially in the times that we're in, is
Mhm.
this my energy, or am I picking up what's going on in the collective? Because there's a
Yeah.
lot happening in the collective between the wars, the chaos, the elections, not just our election. There's 40 elections happening worldwide with major countries.
Countries.
So there's a lot happening here. So it's important for you to decipher
Mhm.
whether it's your energy or someone else's energy or the collective's energy, right?
Yeah. And not be reactive, be more proactive, like you said at the beginning, because you can't control what somebody else is doing. You can only control how you react to it. And that's
Right.
something
And
I,
it's,
and that's what I
yeah,
said constantly, in 2020 and those time frames at that time. Now with the fifth dimension, um, there's some tangible results. What are they?
well,
Like,
the tangible results is you feel more energized. You
okay.
feel, you know, more love, more joy, more connection. You're happier in what you're doing. You're happier with yourself. A big one is trusting that everything that's occurring is for a reason, but also what is it that you're wanting to create and manifest, and trusting that it will be so. So
Oh, I
like,
love that.
because the example I gave earlier about that conference, it wasn't like I had the extra money to go to the conference in that moment, but I trusted because it was such a big yes. And that was an intuitive yes. It was a heart-centered feeling yes, right? Or
Mhm.
like you said, at the core level, it was a yes. So then it was trusting that the universe would line everything up. So when you're in the fifth dimension, there's more flow, there's more ease, there's more grace. And again, like we said earlier, it doesn't mean that challenges won't happen, but you move through them quicker and easier. You're not staying there. I mean, I remember when I used to stay in, challenges, or stay in the muck, if you will, for days on end or weeks on end or months on end. But when you're operating from the fifth dimension, first of all, you consciously choose, hey, that's a vibration I don't want to feel,
Exactly,
That's
exactly.
a challenge I don't want. So what is it that I need to move through it? And you consciously choose to move through it, and you ask for the universe to assist you with that. And when you're doing that, first of all, it's not this burden, this responsibility that you're holding. You're asking all those around you to assist you. And what the fifth dimension does do is it reminds you to ask for help. And because most of us were taught not to ask for help, and we were only givers and not receivers. But in the fifth dimension, you are taught to give and receive in equal measure. So when you give and receive in equal measure, guess what? There's more flow. There's more abundance. There's more prosperity. And opportunities come out of the woodwork. And they come from places that you didn't even know. But it's important to be very clear what you want, what you desire, what your intentions are.
Okay. That's really important to ask what you desire, which is what I do. So now with the fifth dimension, you mentioned shifting to the fifth dimension can help one another in our businesses. How does that work? Because we're running, a little low on time. How does that work?
Well, because in the fifth dimension, it's about co-creation and collaborating, right? And we're not in competition in the fifth dimension. We're actually co-creating, collaborating, uplifting one another. And we know that there's plenty for all. We really believe that, as well as we trust that all will be taken care of. And so, and we have this energy that we're here for the good of all. And so whatever unique expression that we are, you're a unique expression, I'm a unique expression, what we came here to do is unique and doesn't discount you, doesn't discount me. It's all about the all, and it's the unification that can occur.
Well, that's a wonderful way to say it. Thank you. What's the quickest way to create sustainability, to operate and create and live in the fifth dimension?
Do your work. Do the inner work. Because if you don't do the inner work, you're, again, just operating maybe from the mind, the shoulds, the have-tos, the egoic mind. You have to get into that soul, heart-centered place of who you are, so the authenticity can birth from you. That's what you're vibrating out into the world. And that doing that inner work, especially that energetic healing part of it, is key, because it can't just be a mind construct, can't just be, going through the how they're showing it is, saying like you're letting it go and you're forgiving, and then you turn around and you're immediately saying something different, right?
Yeah, because you haven't released it.
Right. So it has to be visceral what you're doing, and reweaving your energetics within you, clearing your chakras on a daily basis, clearing your energy bodies, creating the alignment with the soul and with the divine and with what you want to create. Because if you have an intention and the intention is vibrating up here, but you're vibrating down here, with doubts and worries, or not thinking that you can, or how can this happen, it will miss. You'll manifest, but you're not going to manifest what you truly want. But when you're doing the inner work and raising your vibration to be a vibrational match, that's why we say it's all about vibrations. Exactly. When you're a vibrational match, then it's easy for the universe to deliver to you, to bring you what you want, who you want, the opportunities that you're looking for.
That's wonderful. Now, what offer do you have for my audience today?
So just what we're just talking about, right? Vibrational alignment. So we have a gift called the Manifest Your All in Life and Business. And it's a tool, it's a manifestation tool from the Diamond Co-Creative System. So I developed the Diamond Co-Creative System since 2001. And it's all based on sacred geometry. It's a 12th dimensional technology. And why is that important? Because we're sacred geometry. Anything that we want to create is made out of sacred geometry, made out of energy, right? It's an energy construct. And so the universe is sacred geometry. And so what the Diamond Code Creative System does is it helps you manifest what is in alignment for you, what's in your highest order, and even beyond. So you may say, okay, this is what I want to manifest. And I've had people use this, including myself, for relationships, homes, money, business, all of that. And what happens with that is whatever you put on the manifestation template then starts showing itself where you're congruent and where you're incongruent.
Wow.
And it also will easily attract that which you're congruent to, and the places where you're incongruent, then you have the choice to do the work, to do that inner work, to shift your vibrations and shift. And that can be through the conditioning programming. So shifting your emotions, your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs, the patterns that you may have, and shifting it so that it becomes that vibrational match. But what's in that gift is the template itself, ways to use it, and we just help you really start using a tool that's much more than just an attraction tool, but it's really truly manifesting what's possible for you.
I assume it's easy to use because you give you directions in there.
Super easy to use, and people can reach out to me. I also offer a 20-minute Create Your All consult, so you can come to me with questions like that. But it's really easy to use, and it's just using the tool. It bridges the spiritual and the physical so that you're physically manifesting what you want. So it's not just affirmations. It brings it in. It combines that heart, mind, and matter, if you will.
I can't wait to try it. This sounds wonderful. Thank you for gifting that to my audience. Amanda, would you like to be a guest on my show again so we can delve into this even further?
Sure, of course.
So I want to thank you for being on my show, and I want you to stick around. I think we may have some time for closing remarks. That's what my hope is. But stick around, and I also want to talk to you afterwards. So talk to you soon.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Now, as you know, I revitalize people's lives, and I do help them with the physical health and mindset. Pretty much a lot of people seem to have a gut issue. So I help people with their gut by guiding them to a clean, toxic-free diet, which will actually reduce symptoms in other body systems as well. I also help you release your weight if that's something you need to do, which will make your body more efficient. With my mindset coaching, I help you release your stress and emotions and entanglements from the past. It's not going to happen like this. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer, depending on how you're working with me. Also, I help people, fine tune and strengthen their mindset, and also with that efficient body, you'll be able to live a more joyful life. And you can reach out to me for my programs and my coaching on my consultation button of my link tree, which is https://www.debi, Debi Changes, Changes Lives, Liv as in Victor es.com /linktree, linktRee, and it's all in lowercase. Once you've done that, you get to know me, I get to know you, and I guide you to optimal health. This is the area where you'll find out about my other programs as well. And I have 2 programs that are active at the moment. And if you can go to the next slide to show the programs, I have your Take Your Body Back program, which is a 12-week weight release and mindset coaching program that you'll be creating that avatar board to drive you to succeed on your health and weight transformation. And again, there's 12 weekly sessions. The first one's private to you. We go over your health. You get the details about the programs. You get the details of how to create that avatar board of yourself. And the rest of the coaching, whether it's group or individual, are the same. We're going to be celebrating your wins. We're going to be looking at your gaps. And I'll give you health and mindset tips to get through that. The group coaching and the individual private coaching, the cost varies, but they operate the exact same way. And you will optimize your health. Now, YFAST is that intermittent fasting program where you can actually see your body, get better by boosting your metabolism with high quality nutrients. So you can ask me questions about that, as well as you can also ask for maybe a couple of weeks or 4 weeks of coaching on that. Both of these programs will optimize your health in the long run. And remember that you can watch the show button for the Holistic Self-Care show to get more details on both of these programs, and also use the consultation button to ask me questions directly. Then my services are 2 different Zyto body scans. And I really love the Zyto link because I can actually scan people internationally. And I've recently sent a scan out to somebody in South Africa. And what I do is a Zyto link is a transdermal optical imaging app where I send you a link to your phone. You scan your face for 30 seconds and it sees blood flow for energetic, functional, and emotional components in different body systems and lifestyles. It generates a wellness report, not a diagnosis, of biomarkers at a range and products and services that bring them back into range. And I do review it with you because it's quite intensive. The scan itself costs $50, but if you move forward with my programs or products, I'll give you and my services, I'll give you a $25 discount on programs or products because I already have a discount on the Zytolink scans where you can get 5 scans for the price of 4, saving $50. People are really amazed what their body tells them through this scan, and you'll be too. So get your Zytolink now. And for a limited time, I have Debi's Coaching Chance, which is a complimentary coaching session that for 30 minutes in an intimate group setting. It's not recorded. And a survey picks a top product to session point. And you'll be learning about how to make your body more efficient, how to release weight efficiently, how to harmonize your hormones and ways of releasing stress and emotions, as well as utilizing your mindset so that you can optimize your health and weight transformation. And there's one, how to create that avatar, a new version of you that will drive you to succeed on your health and weight transformation. It's on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, and you need to be registered for it. So you would go to https:// Debi, Debi Changes, Changes Live. Whoops, it's bit.ly. Sorry, it's bit.ly. bity/Debi, spelled with a capital D, as DEBI -coaching with a capital C, and chess with a capital C. And you can also get more alternative health by and as well as knowing about my promos and events and what's going on by subscribing to my newsletter, which is https:// bit.ly/radio and TV show all in lowercase. And I'll give you a gift of a 30-day health and mindset daily action journal where you can record your thoughts, feelings, and emotions and gratitude, the foods you ate, the water you drank, the supplementation you took, exercise you've done on a daily basis, and also track your measurements. You want to review this on a daily, weekly, monthly basis so that you can see your wins and see your gaps. And if you need help bridging your gap, you utilize me for my coaching. This tool is a great health and mindset awareness tool. I am certain that you found this show educational, enlightening, and enjoyed it. Reach out to me for my products and services, as well as programs, and reach out to Amanda for her soul-aligned business coaching services. And it looks like we're out of time. So continue enjoying my radio and TV show, Debi Changes Lives, on Thursdays at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, where your holistic journey begins.